Okay, so in this screencast, which happens to be my very first, what I'm going to do is give a big picture explanation of the way we plan and approach and do things in CNC in Year 8, and then give more specific detail about Term 1. Okay, so as teachers, when we're planning, we don't just pluck any sort of material out of the air to teach you. We actually make well thought out decisions based on our curriculum that we're given to by the government, given to us by the government. But we also need to check amongst ourselves whether we believe it's worth spending your time and our time exploring the activities or the learning that we do with you. So, what in CNC Catholic College, what we do is we pick a key concept that we focus on throughout each of the terms. So over the year, we have 4 different key concepts. We have values is first term. Then we have humanity that we look at in second term. Then we have justice is the key concept for third term. And connectedness is the key concept for the last term. Connectedness. Okay, now we can choose any kind of key concepts, but these are the ones we're working on. And when I'm deciding to plan my material around these concepts, I have to do a test to make sure that this concept is a worthwhile thing to be spending time on, spending your time and our time. And the test goes like this. I ask myself 3 questions. First question is, has this concept or this idea of values, has it always been important to human communities in the past? So in history, in the earliest of civilizations, was the idea of what people value as individuals and as a group important? And we can clearly answer yes to that. No matter in the earliest of civilizations, this concept would have been important. What I value as an individual, what my other community members value. Important to understand. My second question is, will it be important in the future? We can't guarantee many things about the future. We have got no idea what change will happen, what disasters, what technology might happen, what jobs will exist. But we do know that as long as there are individual people, humans living on their own or in communities, the idea of their values and what's important to them as individuals and as groups will continue to be important. And the third question is it important across all cultures? So if you were to take yourself in the future years and live somewhere else in a different culture, would the concept of values be important to that culture? And we can confidently say yes, no matter what language or culture or what geographical space people live in, if there are individual humans there living in community, understanding and exploring their values is going to be important. So this concept gets the tick, and that's the one we're looking at in term 1. Okay, so now here's a bit more of a specific breakdown on how this key concept of values is going to be explored through different subject areas in your learning. Okay, so one of the first aspects that we'll be looking at is through SOS or social studies. In this activity, you're going to be doing a film study of the film called Remember the Titans, and in that film, we're going to be looking at the values of those characters. We're going to be looking at the period of time that those characters were living in and what was happening historically around that time, at what was shaping those people's values, what was challenging their values, and how their values were changed in the course of that period of time. Your task at the end of that will be to present your learning through writing a diary as if you are one of the characters in the film. So that's one of the earliest activities we'll be doing. Then we'll be moving on to having a look at, because we work living and learning in a Catholic school, a Christian environment, we're going to be looking at some of our biblical characters from the Old Testament. And you're going to be learning a little bit about a few of them and then choosing one to make a cartoon strip about that shows us what you know about the values of that particular biblical character, what they valued, how they behaved, what did it lead them to do with their lives, etc. So that'll be presented in a cartoon form for you. That will be your assessment piece. Then finally, amongst other things we'll do throughout the term, you're going to finish up doing a biographical inquiry about a person whose values you really admire. So you'll be researching, developing a biography or a mini biography about that person, and explaining to us what you think, why you admire that person, and what values is it particularly that person possesses that you really do. Maybe you share those values, or you'd like to be a person who has those values in your life. And you'll present that using the inspiration tool on your laptops, and you'll present that as a biography. So that's really a big overview of your three main kind of assessment tasks in CMC. There will be lots of other things that you'll do along the way as well, but that's just giving you a big picture look at the term ahead. Thank you.